Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane, straight from the Propaganda Ministry here in Denmark, and it is a lovely match on Semois. It is the Monday novice fight where we see two novices go against each other in a bloody, gritty fight with spoons. No, I'm just kidding. They will be going at each other with the proper forces. But it might as well have just been spoons at times, because they're really going to be clumsy. And of course we're going to be looking at that, looking at what could be done better. Again, that's part of the Monday's novice fight, sort of see what do they do wrong. And sometimes it's some rather gross tactical or strategic misunderstanding. Sometimes it's just these sort of mistakes. Other times we'll of course be looking at what they do right. So of course this is going to be rather interesting. Hopefully picked a match with a few surprises. At least I feel like it has a few surprises, in my opinion. Of course that might of course be utterly wrong, but of course time shall only show. But we are in fact having Semois, yes indeed, right by the small lake. Semois sort of segmented into these sort of three compartments or sections. Again, the sort of home section or compartment, and then the sort of fight compartment, with the town right here usually being the main point of fighting. We'll also usually see some sort of trying to attempt to sort of pin players in right at the strategic points, and of course that also creates a rather nice point of interest. So of course who shall be fighting? Well, right here in the southern corner it shall be Madance or Madance, I'm not entirely sure, of the 2nd Infantry Division, going up against the lads or the Lancer of the 706th Bodenständige Grenadier Division under LntSimmonds. LntSimmonds leading the fight for the fatherland. Apparently his commanding officer got shot and now he's having to take care of things, which was not entirely unusual. But of course, let's see how this goes. The Bodenständige Grenadier Division, while we're at it, of course, was sort of static fortress unit created by the Germans. Were basically composed of rather low quality troops. They got not the best officers, really, not really the top priority for fresh equipment, and in some cases they were basically, some of their battalions were basically just Russian troops from prison camps, basically called Ostbataljonen, composed of Poles, Russians, all other bits, and were, well, not really highly motivated, albeit the unknown fact for them, of course, was that once they surrendered to the Americans, they'd afterwards be sent back to the Soviet Union and shot for surrendering and getting taken prisoner, which was a crime in the Soviet Union, punishable by death. And as we are seeing a barracks up, we're seeing a Wehrmacht quarters up, so it's not going to be that novice of a fight. Of course, that's not a usual thing, but let's see. Volksgrenadiers, Pioneers heading either way, Engineers also heading either way. Good show, good show. Of course, the thing to note is with these two fuel points right there, in particular with the Wehrmacht, it's not a bad idea to try and wire them off, since your opponent will generally be very fond of harassing them. In particular, again, if you're the Wehrmacht and it's your fuel point, he really is going to love it, because that's rather going to be one of your primary lifelines, and also the thing that's rather going to give you veterancy and of course allow you to sort of take up further. My pardon if I'm talking a bit too fast. That can happen from time to time. The Volksgrenadiers ready, and nothing really happening with them. No rally points and no real plans with them. Jello, have fun. I'm no opponent of Jello. There we go, getting a bit of movement into the Volksgrenadiers, whereas with the Riflemen actually moving about. Good show right there. A bit more movement from Madance. Point secured there. And Pioneers also getting a bit of a movement on. What would the Volksgrenadiers do? What plans do they have in mind? These brave soldaten, in this case they could probably reflect the Ostbataljon troops. Not the highest of quality, not the highest of order in any sort of kind. Rifleman sort of sneaking about here, apparently going for this munitions point. Could be he's sort of hoping to pin our friend LntSimmonds in. Just in I'm territory, he possibly just doesn't have a clue what to do. And Pioneer sneaking through here as well. Interesting. Not entirely sure why. And Volksgrenadiers going for this munitions point as well. Right, then we are seeing a second Volksgrenadier team moving in. This point has not been secured, but there's some riflemen right there, and there are some Volksgrenadiers moving in. Or whatever other low quality troops you might prefer to call them. And riflemen are standing a bit out in the open. They are pulling away. This is a good thing. Don't try to stand about in the open while another opponent is firing at you. That generally tends to end up badly. Pioneers engaging, fighting up right here in the north. And looks like some Engineers are running about here as well. Volksgrenadiers using a point here. Not using the Pioneers to sort of take the rear areas while the Volksgrenadiers are at the front. Not entirely what I'd like. And the Pioneers were lost. That was a pretty unfortunate loss right off the bat. And what is this? Well, this is actually a nice thing to do when you're sort of under threat, and possibly he might have learned this from my cast, but laying down a bit of sandbag when you're about to take a point in hostile territory, a point where you're feeling you might well get counterattacked. Laying down some sandbags to actually give your troops heavy cover while doing so is actually a pretty good idea. It will make your troops a lot safer while they're taking points, and in case of a counterattack, they will have heavy cover readily available. Volkskrone is engaging off against engineers right here, while Riflemen are also moving in. Engineers, oh dear, poor preservation right there. Don't try to take a point while under fire, particularly when you're right up their noses. Volkskrone and Riflemen engaging up against the other. Volkskrone is enjoying cover from a bit of tree right there. One Rifleman down, one Volkskrone down. Riflemen enjoying the advantage up close, but further Volkskrone is moving in, and Pioneers. Riflemen are quickly finding themselves outgunned. And some engineers doing a bit of harassment up north. Volkskrone is moving in to counter, and yes indeed we can see through the fog of war. Since I've disabled it, yes indeed. And Riflemen sneaking through in the north, doing a bit of harassment. Good show, good aggressiveness from the American, although fortunate unit preservation. I mean, aggression is good, but if you can't keep your troops alive, you might as well not bother. And looks like Lieutenant Simmons seems a bit overwhelmed. Oh wait, there we go. Those are finally doing something. MG42 on the way. Southern Volkskrone need to move up and stop this rather quickly. Volkskrone is here laying down some sandbags and barbed wire. No, none of laying down sandbags. That's a bit unusual. Volkskrone is facing off against the Riflemen. Volkskrone is having enjoyment of the ditch and fence. Riflemen not having that much to really enjoy it. And skirmish phase underway from the American commander. Not much how he's already lost one Rifleman team. That's only going to have been a bit of a blow. Riflemen moving through here. Volkskrone is moving in to deal with that. Mines being laid down there and laying down a wall of sandbags as well. That seems a bit awkward. A bit of a waste of time. I mean, a bit of sandbags I suppose helps, but beyond that you might be going over the top. Volkskrone is engaging the Riflemen here. Riflemen rather realizing they don't want to be standing out in the open. Good choice there, but now the Volkskrone is standing out in the open. They will have to get behind the stone wall. And I said behind it, not in front of it. The only thing you're doing is presenting yourself as a nice target again. Cover is directional. It is no magic talisman that when you touch you can say, well, I'm protected by the magic of the stone. You're not. You have to get behind it. And in this case the Riflemen are quite nicely winning, as you might be noticing. Only one man down. 2 Volkskrone is down, and the rest are heavily wounded. Keep that in mind. MG42 setting up though, and not able to hit. That was quite fortunate for the Riflemen, not quite lucky for Lieutenant Simmons, whose Riflemen Volkskrone are still on the wrong side of the wall. And these are just doing nothing. They could have retreated, getting a bit healed. Pioneers are ready. They could be setting up a creek bags, and MG42 running into this small storage building. My goodness, that's absolutely silly. And Riflemen are now running past the Volkskrone, who are now doing terrible damage to the Riflemen. One down, and oh dear, this is very close. Who shall get? Oh, he didn't retreat. Riflemen are utterly down. Terrible unit preservation, not good at all. Engineers moving in to deal with these southern Pioneers, and in the north Volkskrone and Riflemen facing off, but the Volkskrone are not in cover. They will need to retreat. Retreat, Volksgrenadiere. Retreat. You cannot win this fight. Lieutenant Simmons, protect your men. Please. Do something, you inhumane bastard. Or at least silly bugger who can't... There we go. Come on, you can make it, Hans. There we go.
We are losing territory.
But again, being harassed there, not really achieving much. Lots of mines from either side rather there. Hoping to use the barbed wire to sort of funnel them in, I suppose. And the MG42 is still hiding there. I'm not entirely sure I'm keen on that. And these Volkskrone need to retreat. They're awfully low in health. They need reinforcements and perhaps a bit of medic kits as well. And now Riflemen are moving in to penetrate. Again, seizing a bit of territory there. And currently the American commander does hold most of the advantage. Really seizing what he can. And while he has lost a bit of infantry with all the territory he has, and apparently all the mines he's laying down, he might be able to do something and turn things against Lieutenant Simmons about. MP40 equipped Volkskrone is moving in, but you have to be up close in this case. You won't be doing much at them with them at range. And there we go. Rifleman on the retreat point has to be taken though. Volkskrone is ready, and the creek barracks going straight for the Pack 38. And of course I'm probably betting that Lieutenant Simmons hasn't seen a single BAR on the Rifleman, thus he's figuring, well, my opponent is probably going for the M8. I need to be ready. Good thought. Trouble is, and that of course is something he doesn't know, Madance has gone for the sniper, and the weapon support center thereof. Well, not the thing I'd recommend, but there we go. And these false grenadiers are in danger. Engineers running straight in with flamethrowers, getting pinned down, but again, awfully wounded false grenadiers need to retreat. There we go, one on fire. The rest looks like they might be making out of their life. And finally taking that point back. My goodness, Simmons, you need to be a bit faster on your feet. And now going straight for the Sturm Armory. I mean, if you have the Krieg barracks, I mean, get some grenadiers, get a half-track. Don't just get a Pack 38 and move onwards. That's not quite good. Riflemen now with BARs, though, actually rather interesting. Of course, this is going to be a bit of a problem for Simmons, who probably didn't expect this. Pioneers moving in, but with no support weapons. And now suppressing fire from the BARs, suppressing the false grenadiers, but the riflemen are still taking heavy damage. So the false grenadiers, so they will need to retreat. Lieutenant Simmons again, retreat. Get the devil out of there. And there we go. Riflemen firing away. German troops head over heels. And a mine there. I mean, we're seeing rather aggressive usage of mines by Madance. Certainly not bad at all. And these false grenadiers now need to get out of there. And generally not looking good for us false grenadiers at all. Pack 38 rather exposed, some pioneers in the center. MG42 could have moved forward to sort of cover this crossing, but sadly no. And now there's a sniper moving in. Still no half-track or grenadiers. False grenadiers hopefully getting reinforced. And the Pack 38 covering the entrance here, but it's probably not going to find any use right away. And we are seeing a supply head going up from Madance. Could probably just be to reduce manpower upkeep. Not a bad idea.
Yes, sir. All right, folks,
Quite a bit of manpower being floated there. Not really much to use it at the moment. Either he's going for the Sturm Armory, but I prefer grenadiers or a half-track. Something a bit more sound, something that can take the fight to Madance and kill some more riflemen. Well, apparently he has scored infantry doctrine. You can note that because the riflemen are laying down mines, and they won't do that unless you have infantry doctrine and the defensive operations ability. Laying down observation posts on the field, but riflemen moving in. Cancel, Lieutenant Simmons. Cancel and retreat. Retreat. No. Why do you insist on tormenting me so? No, the pioneers are going to be lost. Riflemen do make it out there. Sniper firing away. MG42 is in a lot of trouble. False grenadiers hit a mine. He's clumping them up. He needs to spread them out a bit. Engineers getting suppressed. And he's not dealing with the sniper. My goodness, he needs to rush it with those submachine gun equipped troops. He's prioritizing wrongly. I mean, if you have a sniper and he's not protected, get that bastard. And he lost the MG42 because he didn't retreat or kill the sniper. Terrible, terrible priorities. I mean, engineers with flamethrowers or a sniper. If you can kill the sniper, great. In particular when he's not covered by anything. And rushing in the false grenadiers into another mine. I mean, good usage again by Madance of mines. Not so good usage of Lieutenant Simmons by running directly into them. Further mines getting hit. There again. Observation post up. False grenadiers not doing anything. A medic pack would be good. And now he's getting more false grenadiers. He's not getting grenadiers. I mean, yes, I'm not saying you shouldn't try it, but on the other hand, if you do have the opportunity of getting grenadiers, why not try it? You know, they're actually better than false grenadiers, and they'll give you a bit more extra firepower. And again, don't equip all your false grenadiers with MP40s. I mean, yes, they're good, but they're not good at range, and sometimes you need to stay at range. You can't rush in particular when your opponent has BARs. Seeing a lot of mistakes here by Lieutenant Simmons. I mean, he had a small advantage, and he sort of managed to throw it away by poor strategic and tactical mismanagement. And now going straight for the Sturm Armory. False grenadiers advancing. Engineers hanging about. Pack 38 not really managing still something. And sandbags right there because he's not laying down any barbed wire to actually make it unusual by the enemy. And false grenadiers running straight into BRs. Engineers moving in. Will he focus down the engineers? And grenades. Madance has gone for grenades. False grenadiers taking heavy losses. Retreat. And utterly lost. Don't rush them over open ground. And that's one of the reasons why you don't want to just be equipping them all with MP40s. You need something for the range. And now the Pack 38 is getting... Oh dear. And Madance is just laying down lots of mines. On the right in front. Not entirely sure I'm keen on that. False grenadiers holding the line here. And forced away. Pack 38 getting cleared out. Rifleman running into the line of the MG42 bunker. Hooray! Looks like the Pack 38 crew will still die though. A most tragic fate. Oh no. Apparently they still survive. But no, the engineer. Oh, mines are getting set off. Killing a Volksgrenadier team and losing a Pack 38. Oh dear, it's time to go have a look at Madance. My apologies. Who has a mortar team. That's good actually. He has a sniper, 3 rifleman teams, although 1 heavily wounded, and quite a few engineers, but no medic stations as of yet, I fear. Sniper moving about. And now it's LntSimmonds. Time to have suffered heavy losses. Most of his Volksgrenadiers are gone, and a Pack 38 and an MG42. This is what most professionals would describe as pretty bad, and Madance just doesn't let down with the mines. I mean, this is good dedication, excellent, great usage of mines, certainly recommendable, aggressive, at the front, at the spot. Good, good, good. A Sturmgeschützwehr has been called in from a nearby Sturmabteilung, it seems. And he's moving in as assault gun without any infantry to support the assault. It seems that's, again, not the thing you want to do. Assault guns are there to sort of... They need infantry to really function properly. Volksgrenadier is running straight into the rifleman. They might get the advantage there this time around. Or will they? Oh dear. And a grenade. Oh no, the pioneers taking heavy losses.
Enemy unit dead.
And dead. Volksgrenadier is tearing through the rifleman. And the Sturk. Oh dear, charging through all the mines. Oh dear, oh dear. And now the engineers are sneaking up behind it. The audacity, seizing the Pack 38. Getting suppressed though, but it's not going to be fast enough. They will be able to get the Stug, I fear. Rifleman team though gets killed. Small victory there. I'm pressing through here where there aren't any mines.
The Germans are taking one of our points.
But now, oh, he's stopping up the Stug. He didn't run it straight into space. Balls. Again, LntSimmonds' unit preservation doesn't really seem to be the highest thing among his capabilities at the moment. Not quite good, I'd say. Mines being laid down there. Again, Madance really, again, on the spot with the mines. I wonder if he's been working with the munitions industries, you know, getting a nice discount on the mines, or perhaps, you know, getting a bonus for using a lot of mines. Could be, I don't know.
What are my coordinates?
And at least it looks like LntSimmonds has the idea of just sort of going away from where most of the fighting is currently and sort of trying elsewhere. And I see the Wehrmacht quarters is flashing once more, and Madance is floating quite a bit of manpower and fuel. I don't like that. Another Stug. So nothing wrong in that. Though if he sends it in again without support, I'm going to slap him. Well, I wish I could. And further Volksgrenadiers, I mean, good dedication to trying to master units like the Volksgrenadiers, I suppose, but a single grenadier wouldn't hurt, or an MG42 or a mortar. Just, you know, not just throwing in Volksgrenadiers with MP40s constantly. I mean, that's really the problem. It's not just that he's just only using them with MP40s without veterancy, or even just some with rifles. I mean, you can't just use MP40s always. That's only going to net your loss, I fear. Riflemen charging in, engineers, and oh dear, and these Volksgrenadiers again. Despite the power of the MP40, weren't able to keep it at range. And these pioneers need to retreat as well. Sturmgeschützwehr has made its way. Volksgrenadiers moving in with support and some pioneers. No flamethrowers, I mean, no. And this is another problem with LntSimmonds. And Madance is floating a grotesque amount of manpower. Not good at all. Again, do not float manpower like that unless you have a very specific plan. And something tells me Madance doesn't. But if your opponent is using an awful lot of mines, your primary concern ought to be, and this is very simple, getting some damn minesweepers. Another MG42 has arrived, but he's moving in. Oh dear. Not behind the infantry. MG42s and other such units like are called support units. Pack 38 and mortar among it are kept behind your infantry. Again, note, behind the infantry. They are sort of there to support the advance or support the defense. They are not there to lead the charge. And pioneers foolishly did something. Volksgrenadiers are not moving in to support the Stu. Come on. Do something right. Assault guns are more of a unit support weapon. And against him, hang on. My apologies, that was my team, not yours. Riflemen charging into the MP40s, I mean, again, just like you're not really supposed to be charging into BARs, you don't charge into MP40s in particular, not into MP40s, since that's rather what they're really going to excel at, that is close quarters combat. Engineers laying down a mine, and the Stuke setting it off. Quite fortunate right there. Engineers not looking too happy about it though. Sniper sneaking about, false guys moving in. Again, only MP40s. I'm rather disappointed in that. I mean, again, you want some for long-range combat. I mean, you shouldn't all be equipping all of your troops for assault. You also need something to keep the assault going, to keep it covered, and something for the defensive. Rather important. Sniper getting... Oh, gunned down. Mortar rounds still flying. Oh, dear. No, don't tell me the Volkswagen is advancing into that. And that's, of course, the machine gun emplacement right there, which you ought to be aware of. But no, he's popping into the house and hoping to get off a good few shots there on the mortar team. Tuning away. And the mortar team makes it away safely. And I do believe it's time for the mid-game analysis. My goodness, yes indeed. Things are, well, as you might have noticed, looking pretty terrible for LntSimmonds, although Madance is not really helping with his sort of unfortunate unit preservation and his tendency of not really using his resources at all to sort of gain the advantage permanently, although good usage of mines, very good usage, and he does hold most of the map, and he is really causing LntSimmonds quite a headache, losing quite a few men, but LntSimmonds is rather helping the situation by sending in only MP40 equipped troops. He's not really keeping anything to really fight at range, to really, you know, support or even, you know, just be a bit more useful at more ranges than one. And basically just using all for assault troops. That's not quite good. I mean, you want a good mix of troops, you want balanced infantry, not just infantry geared to one's very specific role, which rather requires them running straight into the line of fire out in the open. That ought to really give the idea of what's going wrong, and rather his tendency of throwing in units a bit fortunate, but at least he's doing something right and shifting the axis of attack, so that's good. And it looks like then Madance's problem is rather reacting to it again, because he's floating a lot of resources and not having the resources to react. A tank depot he could have built, but sadly no. And of course, question is, what will LntSimmonds do? I mean, if he continues from here, he probably will be able to do quite a bit of damage. Question is, will he do so, and will he get something else, and rather just Volkswagen with MP40s and Stukes? And also has to be careful with not placing your units in the line of fire of the mortars, and of course minesweepers don't run into... Oh dearie, dearie me. Standing right in front of the machine gun emplacement and mortar firing away. I predict a grim fate for some of these units. And so it looks like the mine hit. Volkswagen is dead.
Enemy unit down.
Completely killed. Others running away, seeing the fate of their countrymen slaughtered in front of their eyes. Bleeding and dying, and no medic bunker at all. No medic station at all for either side. And the MG42 killed and buried away in a corner of the house. Not really a happy fate either. No veterans at all. A heavy machine gun, and looks like another engineer team on the way from Madance. Pioneers forced away from the center, and let us go return to LntSimmonds, who has gone defensive when he really needs to be on the attack. Not good either, I feel. But a naval rifle has been prepared to provide some artillery support. Rifleman moving north here. BARs can't be picked up because, again, he's equipping all of his infantry with MP40s rather than perhaps allowing the mortars to pick up enemy weapons, which is rather putting him at a disadvantage. But they're setting up in heavy cover. This is good rifleman out in the open, but of course a grenade. False grenades, will he move them? No, wait. Oh dear, he gave them a medic pack rather than moving them away.
We are losing ground.
That was a pretty bad choice of actions, you know. Nebelwerfer fighting away, it seems. Mortar moving away. Another Stuke. The other one moving in to deal with this rifleman. And what the riflemen do, they deliver the sticky bomb onto it. And then run away. And looks like the Pack 38 is moving in. Stuke is heavily damaged. Rifleman moving in to support. This is good. Very good. Another Stuke is ready. Moving in. Volkswagen getting reinforced. LntSimmonds could be getting things around by again, but sort of attacking the spot where Madance isn't really expecting it. Although he is quick to lay down... No, that's not a bad idea actually to sort of protect the flanks of your approach. But a 30 caliber is in the church, singing the gospel of Browning, according to Browning, and the US Army delivering machine gun shots onto it. Stuke getting covered in sticky bombs, but this time around it doesn't damage the engine. And the riflemen are under quite a bit of fire from the assault guns, and the tank depot is going up. This could mean some American armor to deal with these Sturmgeschütz. Further sticky bombs, further riflemen charging in, awfully close to the mines, but they do not hit it. Volkswagen is on the retreat, and the riflemen out in the open, getting hit by the Stukes. Another one is immobilized. And is just unable to hit them, but there we go. Volkswagen and Pioneers moving in to save it. Stuke firing away, Pack 38 flanking. Stuke moving forward, rifleman awfully close, and another hit. Stuke, oh dear, lost to the Aegis. No, the engine is destroyed. That's quite lucky for the crew, I suppose. Although I'm pretty sure they don't want to be an assault gun while the engine is on fire. That's just my sort of guess. But at least they're still alive, and Pioneers are on hand to repair. At the same time, M4 Sherman on the move. Snipers moving in. Pack 38 ready to cover the flank right there. And Engineers laying down mines to cover against an advance. Good, good. And the mortar, he's getting a mortar besides the Nebelwerfer, but the Nebelwerfer nor the mortar are doing anything. And he's going now for the Panzer. As battle phase, and the probably a Panzer Command. This is interesting and novel approach, I suppose. Riflemen hanging about here. Riflemen creeping forwards. Stukes getting repaired. Sherman ready. Battle phase ready. Mortar. I don't know. Not doing much, although it looks like he's firing now. For whatever reasons, I cannot divine though. No way he's hitting even. Looks like he's going for the mortar emplacement. And looks like... And here's rather the problem with Lieutenant Simmonds. And he's running straight into a mine with some wounded troops as well. Losing a team. Lieutenant Simmonds, you get. You ought to know by now that again he's using mines a lot. There we go. Volkswagen is retreating. And rather, problem was here. Let's just briefly pause. Why is things not looking good for Lieutenant Simmonds again? Well, he did gain a sort of operational advantage in sort of shifting things away from the west. Trouble was he didn't capitalize on it. And now, Madance, cleverly enough, has shifted all of his defenses here. And that's going to make things pretty much a pain in the ass to actually break through here and cause some heavy losses. But again, if Lieutenant Simmonds is slightly clever and again seems to have a sort of idea of the larger scale, he will probably then shift again towards these and try to break through there, I hope. But let's return to the fight and see what's going on. Nebelwerfer's firing away, Sniper firing away as well, it seems. Riflemen advancing, Stukes moving in. No veterans yet, all four of them though, quite tragic. And Riflemen are under fire.
They're losing territory. One
rifleman down. Pioneers advancing. And a registered artillery barrage right down in the rear. Knocking out a rifleman team. That was quite good. Sadly, again, Madance's unit position skill seems a bit off. Rifleman under fire, but the Stuke seems unable to really deliver the kill. And the Sherman, interestingly enough, isn't moving forwards, nor is the Pack 38. So the riflemen are, in fact, just targets for the assault guns. Not what I describe as a happy situation. Panzer Command is up. Riflemen retreating in the face of the onslaught of the assault guns. Pack 38 finally on the move. Lieutenant Simmonds down to one Volksgrenadier team. I'd certainly say he's probably had at least a platoon wiped out of those poor fellows. And now he's going for an Ostwind. Now that's interesting, certainly. And looks like the eastern approach, except for this machine gun emplacement, has in fact been utterly cleared out. No mines or anything, except for some rocks flying through the air. Stukes moving in to deal with these riflemen then. And exposing the rear to any Shermans moving in, or the Pack 38. Oh, they are killing riflemen. which I suppose is something. And there we go, Pack 38 opening fire. Stooks need to move away. Rear getting hit, come on Stooks. And the riflemen in fact get killed again. Neither side really seems to be practicing heavily what I'd call unipressure, that the skill of knowing when to fight and knowing when to get the devil out of there. Sherman now advancing with the main gun upgraded quite interesting, 50 caliber machine gun. Now here's a bit of a problem. A Sherman with an upgraded gun, while nice, isn't really the sort of thing again you don't want to be going off against two Stooks from the front. Pack 38 though moving in, and now he's turning the rear to the Stooks. It's almost like he wants to get destroyed. There we go, Sherman out of control. Stooks barely damaged. Pack 38 with virtually 1, but rather exposed. Ostwind Flak Panzer is ready. The Ostwind Flak Panzer, one of the numerous anti-aircraft tanks based on the Panzer IV chassis. There was also the Wirbelwind and the Möbelwagen. The Wirbelwind was basically this with a flak feeling mount, and then the Möbelwagen was a sort of more curious mount, more of a boxy sort of look, where the sort of outer armor could be flapped down to sort of allow the armored or AA tank to actually find ground targets. Those were the ones mostly made. Ostwinds and Wirbelwinds not quite as much. And the Möbelwagen had both flak feeling and 37mm gun like the Ostwind. Stooks not moving at all. Rather lacking in victory points, but Mr. Madance is also lacking a bit in infantry, having suffered a bit of losses again constantly. And the Sherman gone, and now there's a breach right here. Ostwind advances. Lots of riflemen and a mine. Oh dear, the Ostwind hits a mine, but the riflemen are out in the open in negative cover. In fact, it almost looks like they want to get killed by this Ostwind, which just fires away because, again, negative cover makes for much easier targets. And again, oh dear, a rifleman team absolutely massacred, and the other one not too well either. And the Stooks are leading the charge. Pack 38 trying to move in, having tried to deal with the Ostwind, but rather realizing now that the Stooks are pressing through in the north. A numerous pronged Panzer assault. Well, the Stooks are not Panzers, but they were used in some Panzer Abteilung since they couldn't get Panzers. And this the pack opens up, but the Stooks, what do? They focus it down, kill the crew off. My goodness, another Sherman though on the move. If the Sherman commander knows his worth, he will try to flank it rather than attacking the armor from the front. Otherwise, he probably would have been better off actually going for the Ostwind first, but no. He's going for the assault guns, and even worse, he's trying to deal with it from the front. I mean, rule of thumb, never try to attack German armor from the front unless you've got a Firefly, and doing so from range. Otherwise, always flank the German armor. Trouble is, he's not doing so, and thus leaving the Sherman to become a bonfire to warm the German Panzer crews once the fight is over. And now he's laying down mines again. But it rather looks like Madance's forces have been utterly shattered, now calling upon the Rangers to lead the way. Ostwind firing away, and looks like his current path is directly at the Ostwind. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. And the Rangers are in fact coming directly under fire, running up the road. Stook hitting a mine, damaged engine. And there we go, running straight into the Ostwind. Rangers flying, dying, and again, negative cover, making themselves easier targets. And getting slaughtered. And the Rangers, nope, that was a rifleman, dead. One single Ranger made it out of that massacre. And a Panzer IV now on the way. Apparently the 2nd Panzer Division is providing some armor assets. Rangers team number 2 advancing, though I'm not entirely sure why. I'd say the fight is certainly lost at this stage. And straight into the Ostwind once more. Ostwind meaning east wind. And yeah, these Rangers are not going to be living much longer either. Getting squished beneath the treads. And killed by the Stook. And there we go. Panzer IV rhyming. Ostwind in a few minutes, having already scored 27 kills. I'd certainly say that's a good squad or two. So there we go, match over, a victory for the 706th Bodenständige Infantry Division or Grenadier Division, with a bit of support from the 2nd Panzer Division and some unknown Sturmabteilung. A victory indeed, and well, what can we learn from this? Well, again, the main priorities I sort of feel for this match was unit preservation. I mean, pretty poor on both sides. Units which should have been retreated were killed on numerous occasions. No minesweepers from Lieutenant Simmonds, knowing that his opponent were using that many mines. Absolutely terrible. Interesting use of barbed wire though, but it rather fell apart because again everything fell apart. Also, don't equip all your false grenadiers with MP40s. Keep a decent mix. And of course, good unit preservation. I mean, if you are going for the creek bags, try to get some, grenadiers or at least a half track. And of course, also keep your MG42s at more potent positions. Don't just place them at a building far, far away. That didn't really work out either, as you might have noticed. Good things though were great usage of mines by Madance. My goodness, I've rarely seen mine usage that good. And of course, another thing of course to note is of course how Lieutenant Simmonds was good at sort of shifting the approach, the sort of direction of the assault. I mean, when he first realized that Madance was rather heavily locking down the first entrance, he basically shifted the assault. Of course, what he then went wrong was he lost all momentum, didn't continue. But at least he was then able to sort of shift again, which rather caught Madance completely off guard again. So that was good. What I would like to see from either side was a medic station or a medic bunker, obviously. And of course, better unit preservation. But there you go. I hope you enjoyed this Monday novice fight. If you did, want to subscribe or tell your friends. And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dancing. Remember to keep your troops alive. Cheers.